So day 2 begins with a walk from Cheshunt station back to where I left the New River. So next day, back out, straight back out next day. By the time I walked through my front door last night, I'd done 17 miles, and of those 17 miles, probably only about 12 of them were actually on the New River path, leaving me at least 16 miles still to walk on the path. And you've got the stuff to and from the path, like here today. I've got about 2 miles from Cheshunt station back to the New River path where I left it. So we better crack on, I suppose. It's just coming up to 11 o'clock. And just to quickly recap day 1 of the New River, I started at Hertford yesterday and ended up at a place called Brookfields. I'm not even entirely sure where it is. It's sort of somewhere between Broxbourne and Cheshunt, and that's where I ended up at 7 o'clock last night. Oh, and in the off chance that you have no idea what I'm doing, I'm walking the New River path, which, as they say, is neither new nor a river, and it was an aqueduct built in 1609 to 1613 to bring fresh drinking water into the centre of London, and it still provides somewhere between 8 and 10% of London's drinking water to this very day. The New River path runs from near Hertford on the River Lee, and it ends at Islington at the New River head. I very much doubt we'll get there today. I think I'm going to need to do the last little bit, what they call the heritage section, on a third day. Perhaps, who knows, who knows. Sit tight, we might just get there. And I think a short distance up here, up the A10, the Great Cambridge Road, there should be a footpath on the left, which takes me back to the New River. Wow, traffic's intense, right? And I think this lovely little footpath here should take me back to the New River. And here we are, back on the New River. About 14 hours after I left it last night. Well, a bit more than that actually, isn't it? But for the record, I am missing out a very short section from Brookfields shopping centre to here. I could walk up there and walk back again, but don't see the value of that. And we've got a lovely section of footpath to kick the day off and finish the Hertfordshire section and take us into the London section, which I think is about 2 miles up the river. Or should that be down the river? When I got on the train last night, I was a little bit disappointed with not having done more of the actual New River path. Even though I walked 17 miles, like I say, I think probably only about 12 of that was the New River path, which is 28 miles long. And the Hertfordshire section is 14 miles. So it left me with quite a lot to do today, and probably more than I can do in a day, bearing in mind I was a bit slow this morning. So I was a little bit, I ended the day with a bit of frustration, particularly after the stuff that went wrong at the beginning with the blocked path. And of course you have the detours to get lunch and that kind of thing. So, but I shook it off, or rather I kind of drank it off in my local pub. So I was a bit slower to get moving again this morning. Even so, we'll just enjoy the day and we'll end up where we end up. And it's another absolutely perfect day, isn't it? I think it's going to get to 19 degrees today. Feels like it's nearly there. It's about 11:15. And this next section of the New River is going to take us through suburban North London, and eventually it ends at Woodberry Down reservoir at Manor House, which is where the drinking water part of it ends. But there is a heritage section following the original course from Woodberry Down through Stoke Newington and Islington to the New River head on Amwell Street. And it's interesting to see the variation in the path as you move along it. Here you can see we're quite close to the water, quite a narrow strip of path here. Now, according to the Thames Water guide that I've got, a little route map, I'm supposed to cross over and go on that side, but as you can see they're digging it up, and there was a little bit of that yesterday as well, so let's hope it's not a feature of today's walk. Luckily there's a path on this side, so it doesn't really make any difference, I hope. It does indeed make a difference because I can't go any further along the path, but so hopefully that bridge up there gives me access back to the New River path. And that was a very short detour before we have now what looks like a cracking path. Let's hope they decide not to dig that one up. Something very big is being constructed here. I'm moving through Cheshunt towards Waltham Cross. I have to look this up. It's huge. And it's interesting looking across at this grand building scheme, what I imagine is an infrastructure project. Just here where there was a grand infrastructure project that was built over 400 years ago and is still being used today. So this is really bad news. Footpath closure, quite a big one. I'm here, I can walk a little bit more, but it's recommending that I take an alternative route, quite a long way, I think that way, back towards the, is it that way? I'll get that right, don't worry, or that way. And I miss the whole of Theobald's Park, which is really galling if you're walking the whole thing and it means you've got to miss a really good bit. Look, it's a huge section I've got to miss before I rejoin it at Capel Manor Sports Grounds. That is Thames water, I'll tell you what. Never mind. This is the way that I've got to go on a massive detour. Well, I'm not going to try and contain my disappointment for that because I am really disappointed that A, it's such a big stretch that's shut, number one. Number two, this is a significant detour. This adds miles on. This means I don't know if I'll get to Woodberry Down today. And it's not the, I had the issue with the railway yesterday and there was other shorter sections that were closed, and also I missed Theobald's Park. So I am peeved, but you know what we do, the walk is the walk and all that, and we'll make the most of it. But I'm just going to express that now to get it off my chest. And you think they could do it in shorter bursts so they don't close such a long stretch off. I don't think people walking it is such a strong consideration. I'm saying that because I'm upset, because in other areas they do a really lovely job and the grass is kept really short. But have a bit of thought for people that are trying to walk the whole thing. Don't shut off so much of it in one go. Being really selfish now. But just like I say, I'm upset. So some of these buildings, or one of them, are new Google data centres. I'm not sure if it's this one here or the one that I passed on the New River. So I'm now going to have a delightful walk along the A10. Very bucolic, really much better than walking along the New River through Theobald's Park with all its wonderful history. Who would want to do that anyway, right? Got to somehow get around this enormous roundabout. Thanks, Thames Water. Another massive roundabout to negotiate. Hopefully not too much further before I can turn off back to the New River. That's the M25 down there, the road that will forever belong to Ian Sinclair. And yesterday, quite near the start of the walk, when things were going wrong and I also had some technical issues, I was like, it feels like a cursed walk. And yeah, it's certainly feeling that way again now, but I've got to finish it somehow. That diversion has taken us out of the Hertfordshire section of the New River Walk and has taken us into the London section of the New River Walk. 11 miles from here to Woodberry Down, or obviously longer than that because of this detour. So I think there's a subway which takes me across this junction, and then the New River path is down there somewhere, I think. And here we are, back to the New River at long last, and now in London. I assume I walk on the left, although the signs are on the right hand side there, aren't they? Well, I'm going to follow the signage which tells me to stay on this side, but I think that's why they're closing the path, because they're creating that new gravel bit over there. I'm not going to share how I feel right now, but it's going to be, I'm obviously making a note of it, but it'll be interesting to see whether my opinion changes before the end of the walk. Like I say, I don't want to say what I feel now. Let's see how I feel at the end and whether I still feel the same. Bearing in mind my emotional attachment to the last stretch, which will now, I would say, almost certainly be on a third day. It's 20 past 12 now, 12:30. I've been walking for 2 hours. And every time I look down to the water, I wonder whether the next glass of tap water I take, or in fact the tap water out of my bottle, came from here. It's 10% chance of that being the case. Now I'm going to walk on some of the new gravel section for a bit. One of the reasons I didn't do this last year is probably because of the construction of this. People have been very helpfully sending me updates and time, so I thought, well, I'll wait. But I didn't want to wait any longer, that's why I didn't look it up, because I thought last time when I looked it up, I didn't do it, and I feel like if I hadn't done it now, I probably would never have done it. Yeah, wait to see. I've got some, I'll have more nuanced thoughts to share at the end. Look, that's in the sun over there, that's the path. Why is that closed? They're fishing grass and weeds out of the river just up here with that bit of machinery. So we're near Turkey Street station here. You can see like the river is fenced off. I wonder if this is going to be more of a feature of the urban sections, which I haven't actually walked before. I've seen them, but I haven't actually walked them. Here's the Turkey Brook, which is a walk I had wanted to do at some point. I think it would be quite difficult to follow the Turkey Brook by the looks of it. And you can see this concrete structure here and all these pumps. I think this bit that I'm looking back along is the aqueduct which carries, I think, 2/3 of the water down to the Walthamstow reservoirs. That point is in this area, so this looks like it could be the mechanism for doing that. And I wonder if in here is where the rest of the New River is being carried over the Turkey Brook. It could be the other way around. That's in line with the bit we just walked along. This is the New River path, but the question is, where's the New River? It must be underneath the ground here. And here it is, coming out of its culvert, running above the ground and free. There's a fine looking pumping station here, quite a small one. Interestingly, it's not one of the marked points on the Thames Water pamphlet of the walk, whereas all the Hertfordshire ones were marked with the date, but clearly this one isn't of note. So actually it is on this metallic one here, and it says this is Haugen pumping station, which is part of the strategic drought scheme capable of topping up the New River with 7 million litres of water each day. Then you use it in periods of water scarcity. That's interesting, isn't it? So that's pumping water into the New River. We kind of take it for granted that we're going to always have enough water to drink. The New River is a reminder that London nearly ran out of drinking water at one point due to its expansion, its rapid expansion in the 16th century. And onwards we go through Enfield. So here we do have what looks like quite a long detour through Enfield Town to get back on the path as it runs between houses here, and there's, well, I don't know, there is room for a path there, but there is no path to do. So around the houses, and I'll stop for lunch as we go. So going along Parsonage Road in Enfield Town, and this is the New River Loop. We have a plaque in the pavement here, and we should be able to pick up the actual New River itself just up here. So here it is, the Enfield Loop, which was bypassed at one point with some iron pipes that cut off the loop, which was designed to bring water into Enfield Town. But then wartime damage to the pipes meant the loop was reinstated, and now it's been restored as a little sort of heritage feature. And little sections of the New River path like this are really lovely. I'm kind of hinting a little bit at what my conclusions are at this point. May feel very different at the end, still got a way to go. People have been recommending a walk around Enfield, Old Enfield, for a while. This isn't that walk, because I'm just ploughing along the New River on a bit of a yomp, but I will be back. It's really lovely. And look at that lovely pub sat right on the New River. I do need somewhere for lunch, but if I go in the pub, Had to be done. Had to be done. I know I said I'm not a daytime drinker, but I think today's the exception. I mean, I did review the other lunch options in the area before going in the Crown and Horseshoes, which was really lovely. Had a lovely garden, and I feel like after what happened with that annoying diversion, which, you know, let's just say affected my mood for a while, I feel like it was a good way to reclaim the day, and it has done that. It has done that. It's given a different complexion. And if I don't make it to Woodberry Down today, which I very much doubt I will, it'll be as much because I had a pub lunch than because of that diversion. So this is delightful along here, by the way. What a lovely way to see part of Enfield Old Town. Really, really lovely. I can see what people are going on about now. I'll drop a screenshot of this in, maybe, but you can see, look, I've done 9.7 miles so far today. I've still got a chunk to do. I mean, it's that thing about the mileage of the actual New River itself and the mileage of walking it, quite different. And I have to say, I think this section through Enfield is my favourite part yet. It's really lovely. And now we kind of go around in the big loop around this golf course, and then we rejoin the main branch of the New River on the other side. We continue down Bush Hill. I'm certainly seeing a different side to Enfield than I have seen before from the bit near the River Lee. It's more like Hampstead. The signs are pointing down here, but the map shows you can access it just there. Don't know what to do. This does feel like a little bit of a trudge around the houses, I've got to say. So I'm tempted to try and pick up, but I can't do any doubling back, so I'm going to carry on down here. And thankfully, there's an entrance to the New River here. So I was just getting really fed up. Oh no, and it's... well, what's the point of that? What is the point? That's annoying. Why? Like, why? Why just let people into this little tiny bit? Makes no sense. This is all feeding in to my conclusions, by the way. I think what I'll do, I'm not going to blow it too much, but I think I'll have to follow up, maybe with a bit of writing, with a summary of my concluding thoughts. I'll give out, obviously, say detail of my concluding thoughts. I'll give a summary at the end. But I think what we have just experienced, and actually our experience, yeah. Unfortunately, I can't get back across the road at this stage, but I think over there is a brick arch that dates from 1682 that carries or did carry the New River over the Salmon Brook. Obviously doesn't anymore because the New River is to the right of it. That may not be the thing. I'm just trying to match it to the Thames Water map. And this is where we can get back on the New River path here. By this fine brick bridge. Just coming up to 3:30, and we're in the range of Winchmore Hill. It's kind of strange the way the New River changes your relationship with places, because you don't really know where you are unless you have to exit. Don't know if it will come out, but there is a clawed thing crawling around on the bottom of the New River there. What is that? Is that a crayfish maybe? That's interesting. I've not seen one of those before in a river, certainly in London. Isn't that it's fantastic? It's big. Again, I don't know if you'll see it on the screen here. I don't think I've ever been to Winchmore Hill before, and I've just seen exotic marine life, if you can call it that, riverine life. And there's another one here. I feel kind of foolish for not knowing what they are, but yeah, I don't. And just up there, running across your screen from left to right, we have the ancient Green Lanes. At least a medieval drover's route, and some say perhaps a Roman road, and perhaps even older than that. The map was showing that I'd have to go down Green Lanes for a bit, but look, there is access here. Who knows, I might have to do a double back, but I'm going to push on. And yet another fine pumping station, and another that isn't on the pamphlet that I have, but I will look it up. The New River carved in stone alongside their slogan, neither new nor a river. I mean, although that's true, you think they could have come up with something a bit more poetic, no? So I think this is where I will have to walk along Green Lanes for a bit. 4 o'clock. What a beautiful day, weather-wise. Oh, stunning. This was starting to feel like quite a long bit of road walking, but I think I can get back on the river just up here at Hedge Lane. Yes, back on the path. And it's just after 4 o'clock. I'm starting to feel a little bit more optimistic about getting to Woodberry Down before sunset. Let's wait and see. You know what they say? It's the hope that kills you. I'm sort of feeling now like I want to finish today, regardless of whether I finish it in the dark or not, which on the one hand feels a little bit pointless, but again feeds into my final thoughts. What's that proud fella sat on the post in the middle of the river? Is that a cormorant? He's not bothered about me being here. It's interesting. Relatively minor detour here on Hazelwood Lane. Look at that, great, I like that a lot. I don't know what, it's sort of Doctor Who elements to it. I was starting to doubt I could get back on the path here, I should say, but you can. Sometimes it's in the least likely places. Here we have it, running along a high bank. I think this is sort of Palmer's Green area now. Difficult to tell. According to my phone, I've walked 13.7 miles today. Remembering that's, you know, from my front door. Feeling a bit tired actually, if I was honest with you, but I'm so, well, not that close to the end, but I'm close enough to sense it. I almost feel as if I have emerged into London here at Palmer's Green. A little bit of road walking here past Palmer's Green Library. Not sure about this at all. No, turned out to be right. Down these steps back onto the path. It's quite a big railway viaduct there. I mean, we're just sort of around Palmer's Green. Look, but look, that, I'm very curious about that down there. I think there's a river running through there. It's funny. That's the Pimsbrook down there. A river that I've walked, so I'll have to link to that below. Funny. I did wonder if it was the Pimsbrook. We've come out onto the North Circular Road here. This section is called Bowes Road. So we just get our way across it and then we carry on over there, I think. Blissfully short detour. And I haven't seen any of those little sculptures that we saw yesterday at all today. I definitely prefer these urban stretches, if I was honest, which is slightly surprising to me. I didn't think I would. I thought the Hertfordshire section would be the nicest or my favourite, but actually no, there's a lot more character to the urban sections. So I feel at the moment. The summary, looks like the summary will be today, one way or another. What do you think I'm going to say? I've sort of hinted a little bit, haven't I? Another brand new pumping station there. We've just crossed Whittington Road. So here we have the Wood Green Tunnel, which takes the New River from Bowes Park through to Wood Green. So I think for the next, I don't know, kilometre, we're walking on green space over the tunnel. Feels appropriate to walk down Middleton Road for a short amount of time, named after Sir Hugh Middleton, the founder of the New River Company, and the reason I'm out here 400 years later doing this walk. Having a much needed rest on a park bench here on top of the New River. It's about, I don't know, the time, it's just after 5. Feeling very tired right now, but I want to stay determined to finish it in the dark. I mean, it will be in the dark. I mean, by the time we get to the New River Head, who knows? I might just not be able to carry on, but got to keep trying. Here they say, welcome to the Hidden River Path, highlighting that the river is running beneath the ground. Got some beautiful autumn colours here in this parkland. This is a really lovely strip of parkland running through Bowes Park to Wood Green. Gorgeous. Just coming up to Alexandra Palace station. I think, yes, I think we go over there in the direction of the camera's pointing. Here's the New River. And actually, no, we don't. We go that way, it would seem. And what's interesting is yesterday was the Hertfordshire section. There were quite a few bits that were familiar to me. Today, this is the first bit of the walk which isn't even remotely familiar to me, and it's right near the end. It's interesting. We're in the vicinity of Turnpike Lane here, just going along a Western Road. I have to say though, this bit here, which is a load of new builds, is completely unfamiliar to me, so Yeah, again the new river opens new vistas. So I think I need to go this way. There's no signage here, but I'm looking at my phone, it seems to be the way. There's the new river down there. It's just after 5:30. I really didn't think I would get this far today, so I'm finally happy with my progress. And here at Hornsey, we can once more walk beside the water. Wow, absolutely fantastic. So just going down here towards Turnpike Lane, and we're going to turn into Whiteman Road, where I used to live. Signs are directing me through this little housing estate here. I think I can get on the path just up here. So just near Hornsey station, we're back on the riverbank for the final stretch before the reservoirs at Woodberry Down. And after that it's the heritage section, but there's no water there. So this is where the little section ends, it seems, and it goes back. It runs between the houses of Whiteman Road. We're going to walk straight along Whiteman Road and pick it up again at the end. Not looking too great here, is it? And I passed this gate up here on Whiteman Road, what, a month or two ago, and predicted doing this walk very soon, and here I am. Now we go along Whiteman Road, which I mentioned a few times is where I used to live as a student, just for the 1 year. And if you took the streets to the left, you can see the New River running between the houses. The New River path goes straight along the road. The last little section is just up here on the right. Here you can see the New River running between the houses there, which has been doing across the Harringay ladder like a little watery thread dangling down. And the final little bit here goes along the edge of Finsbury Park and then turns down towards the reservoirs, or into the reservoirs, not towards them. Here's a great piece of old signage here. The New River opened in 1613 to bring fresh water from Hertfordshire to Lond. Lovely. And we just walk this little bit here along Finsbury Park and then cut across Green Lanes. Back across Green Lanes once again, and you can see the river is just over there in the middle of the frame. And this here is the last little bit of the New River path as it goes into the reservoirs. What a moment. And this is not a moment I'd really given a lot of thought to, actually. It's strange, isn't it? But it feels profound. Oddly, that's probably just the fatigue kicking in. And there are really fantastic views from here, looking east, back across London. Magnificent, really magnificent. Harringay Warehouse District down there, where we were in August, about 2 months ago. And this is a really great section of the path. Wow, that is a fantastic sunset looking back. I keep saying the final little bit, but I genuinely think this is the final little bit that goes into the reservoir. And here the river's running right beside the housing estate. Basically the path is there. And on the other side of the rushes, you have the reservoirs. New bit of riverbank walkway here through the new part of Woodberry Down estate. As I feared, I got here too late to go to Woodberry wetlands, to the reservoir. Oh well. Through there are the Stoke Newington reservoirs, built in 1830 to take extra capacity for London's water supply. And then water from here is then fed into the reservoirs at Walthamstow via a conduit which you won't be able to see on this image here, but it's just below that middle tower block. The tree in front of it, at the bottom of that tree, is the opening to a little conduit which flows beneath the streets all the way down to Walthamstow. I will have to content myself with a little shot of the water, final bit shot of the water as it turns to go into the reservoirs. That's probably as good as seeing the reservoirs themselves, right? So we have got a bit of a view of one of the reservoirs here from the new estate, and I've also got footage of Woodberry wetlands as well that I can drop in. I shot a few years ago in nice light. And that is the end of the New River as a river. What continues from here is the Heritage Trail that follows the course, the original course, back to the New River Head in Islington. And I'm just going to keep going, and we'll do that in the dark. And you can see it's getting dark now, but such a lovely evening anyway. This is not the end of the walk though. This is not the end of the walk at all. Not for me, it doesn't feel like the end of the walk. Even though I'm really proper tired, I'll put the mileage on the screen, what I've done up until this point. It's technically the end of this section. It should be about 13 miles, I guess, 14 miles, but I have a feeling it's more. Turns out that I've actually walked 20 miles so far today. I've got, I don't know, 3 more miles to go. And this is still the New River here. Still here. I'm not ready to give my conclusions yet. We'll have to do that in Islington, at the New River Head. Now we've got a little bit of a schlep along green lanes for a while. Doesn't, doesn't hurt as much when you know you're not missing out on open water. Feel like I should have made more of being at the reservoirs. At the end of the day, if I stop for too long, that's it. I'm done in after 20 miles. Hopefully that will come out. We've got Amwell Court here, Amwell Court. The sign back there was saying 3.5 miles to the New River Head. That can't be right. I might need to stop somewhere. Clissold Park is on the left there. Of course, the Hackney Brook does cut through Clissold Park, so it must have crossed the New River. In fact, actually, that is in one of the books I've got. The way when they put the New River over the Hackney Brook. Onwards we plod through another area where I used to live not far from here once upon a time, in Highbury, just over there. Lovely area. I was going to stop at the Clissold Park Tavern, but I just feel like if I stop now I might not ever get going again. Just got to keep plodding on. So this green path here in Petherton Road is built over the New River. It's running beneath our feet here. There's a bit of almost midsummer magic in the air tonight. So look, I'm in my t-shirt. It's the 30th of September, last day of September. I don't know, there is something. It feels lovely, but just slightly uncanny, if you know what I mean. Maybe that's the river speaking. I do love this little walkway here. I remember it from when we lived in Highbury. It's it's a real little treasure. Passing the snooty fox is never an easy thing. 23 miles into a walk. The willpower. Grosvenor Avenue, and the river is still, New River's running beneath the street here, but we're about to cross the canal, I think. Canonbury station. Interesting. Oh no, we're about to cross the railway. See, my brain's going fatigue. And here at Canonbury we do have a section here called the New River Walk, which the gate is open, should be locked. I might not chance it being open at the other end. Also, I'm not sure how wise it is to walk through a park in the pitch black, but we will go along Douglas Road North here, which is going adjacent to the river, right next to it in fact. The magnificent Marquess Tavern. Again, another temptation, but got to keep going, so close to the end. Down Canonbury Grove now, lovely old road. And then we're down Essex Road and to the New River Head. The path continues down here. It's actually running through this little park as well to the right. This will take us down to Essex Road. Essex Road. So we turn off Essex Road into Colebrook Row. So close to the end now, so close to that celebratory pint. And the river is running through that little park on the right hand side there, which thankfully I do have footage of that in daylight. So the river's cutting straight across Goswell Road here, and then St John's Street, and then we're onto the New River Head. This is down Owen Street, about to go across St John's Street. Thames Water fitting some new pipes here that go into Middleton Square, named obviously after Sir Hugh Middleton, chairman of the New River Company. And earlier on when we were in Chadwell, earlier on, that was yesterday wasn't it, I wondered why the New River Head was on Amwell Street but not Chadwell Street, and this is in fact Chadwell Street, and I think that's where we go down there. So the path in the booklet definitely does go down Arlington Way, but not as far as Rosebery Avenue. I used to walk down here most days when I lived at the Angel. Interesting. The Harlequin, it's a great pub, and we are basically behind the Sadler's Wells Theatre. Stage door is just here. That's where the orchestra drink. Oh, well, I never. Middleton Passage next to the Shakespeare's Head. I'll probably be drinking regularly, but I'm not sure if I knew about it. No, this is definitely a first for me up here. Well, I think it's kind of in keeping with today's walk. This is where the walk ends. This is the end of the path. We have the wonderful Quentin Blake Centre for Illustration. That's quite fun, isn't it? And this is the back of the New River Company's building. It's now flats, of course. The New River Head, the place where the water ends. That is a very unexpected ending. This is the least unfamiliar to me of all the places. I walk past here every day when I lived at the Angel. And I've included this on guided walks from Amwell Street looking across. I've walked around Middleton Square in videos. I've saw this but never been down here. Had no idea that this was the way in to the New River Head. It's around the back here. Isn't it strange? This is the end of the walk in Middleton Passage. How strange, how very, very strange. Wow, what an odyssey. How many miles have I walked? Let me look that up now. Whilst you're here. That's 24.1 miles to here today. That's from the time I left home. Don't forget I'm not home yet, but so across the 2 days that is 41 miles across the well, it'll be more than that by the time I actually walk through the front door, but to this point it's 41 miles across the 2 days. That's with the detours, diversions, but there's more of it going on here. So that's it. I'm walking out of Middleton Passage, just in a dark street in front of the gates to an apartment building, which probably doesn't go down well. It feels appropriate actually to sign off here in Middleton Square, named after Sir Hugh Middleton. And there's a pub on the corner there, and I'm going to go straight in there and celebrate. So, conclusions. I think I'll write some more detailed conclusions and I'll post them as either a pinned comment or in the community tab. I'll probably put it maybe on my blog, The Lost Byway, or on Patreon as a free post, patreon.com, John Rogers, and you're about to access it. But we're spacing and getting here now. I mean, it's interesting at the end. The bit I did in the dark was amazing. Middleton, the ending, I'm trying to recover from that. How I was feeling earlier is confirmed by how I feel at the end. I would not recommend doing what I've done. Put it simply, it's not really worth. It's not designed as a long distance path. to do the whole thing. It says 28 miles, and obviously the water is, and maybe the New River Walk that they've mapped out is 28 miles, but you're going to be doing mileage to and from it, bearing in mind you're going to break it up over a few days, and that's what I would recommend. Just doing sections of it, short sections of it. I'm glad I've done it. I had to do it. I had to do it. It's been there for 10 years, isn't it? It's like that thing of why did you do it? Because it was there. Like when people climb a mountain, because it was there. So thanks for coming with me. Thanks for bearing with me over those 2 days. I don't know, well, you'll know how many videos this will be. At this point, signing off, I don't know how many videos it will be. Very much doubt it'll be one long one. But it's an experience I won't forget, put it that way. An experience I won't forget. And it has, the ending's changed my perception, so that's a good thing. It's changed my perception of something I thought I knew well. That's what a good walk does. It changes your perception of things. Anyway, I'm waffling. I'm so tired. You can probably imagine 24 miles today. 41 over 2 days. By the time I get home, it'll be an extra couple of miles. Thank you so much for coming on that walk. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much to my supporters on Patreon, the YouTube members, for you for coming and watching these videos and your comments and everything. So, as I always like to say, I look forward to seeing you on the next walk, wherever that may be. And now we've done the New River, so we can drop that. Take care.
It's over the meadow, over the stream, it's where I am going and where I have been. It's been a long day now, it's time for a beer, and now for home, of course I must steer. It's over the meadow,